Would you believe me, 10 years back, if I asked you, click a button and a car will be waiting downstairs? No, right? It's called Uber. Would you believe me if I told you 10 years back that you can go around the countryside thousands of miles and never put any fuel in the tank? It's called Tesla. Would you believe me that you can leave your wallet at home, that wallet, Dheeraj, and go out in the market on a date just with a watch? It's called Apple Pay. The world has changed dramatically. Are you ready? Who is ready? Are you ready for the changed world? You sure about that? My friends, while you were sleeping, the age of the machines has arrived. What does that mean? How is it changing? What do you think? My friend, what do you think? What is the age of machines? It is definitely not Terminator. But something is changing. What is changing? Anyone?
Workplace.
Workplace is changing. What else is changing?
Workforce.
Workforce is changing. What else? How is it changing? Yes, workplace changing, workforce is changing. But what is changing? I'm listening for the what. I'm waiting for the what. How many technology guys out here?
Internet revolution.
Internet revolution. All those are big words, but what is actually changing? Okay, here it is. Do you know the factory worker is changing? 60,000 jobs were changed by the largest mobile maker in the world, Foxconn.
Yeah.
How many heard that news? Just 3, 4 people. So 80% of the room did not know about that. Where are you? Sleeping. Thank you. Give him a round of applause. At least he confessed and accepted. Come on, everyone. That means courage. Courage is not about going out there and saying you are right. Courage is about accepting you don't know. Because when you say that, you become humble and you learn. Thank you, William. What else is changing? The policeman is changing. Do you know this guy?
Yeah,
You know who is Usain Bolt? He's the fastest sprint runner in the world. This machine runs faster than Usain. Do you know that? What is changing? This builder. How many days does it take to construct a house? 2 days. 2 days with this robot. Did you know that? Put your hand up if you know that. Nobody. The driver actually is just the computer. I have this beautiful saying, once upon a time, you had a car and you fitted a computer in it. Now you have a computer and you fit a car in it. You see, there's no driver. The car is your driver. How many of you know about Uber's driverless cars? Okay, at least that one you know, half the class. Did you know these are not immigrants? These are not refugees. They're plowing the fields. They are robots. Are you ready for the future, my friends? Do you feel ready? Change is no longer like this. The change is going like this. And the word you want to remember and take back to it is exponential. And if you don't pay attention, you're going to be left behind. Are you ready for what is changing? Okay. So I got 2 goals today. And hopefully after this seminar, you won't be saying that I'm not ready. Just 2 goals. Number 1, what does the future of work look like? Please hashtag future of work. You'll find millions of posts. This week, I was in a conference called the Internet Economy Summit. How many of you have heard that? Just one man. It is the largest summit by the Hong Kong government in the whole of Asia. 3 days, thousands of people attending. Where are you, my friends? Wake up! Wake up, because one day you will realize your job runs the risk of being obsolete. Trust me. And I want to empower you today. So the second thing I want to give you is how can you prepare for the change? Which one is more interesting, the first one or the second one? Put your hands up if the first one is more interesting for you. Put your hands up if the second one is more interesting for you. Put your hand up if both of them are interesting for you. Okay, thank you very much. This work is almost 2 months of research for me. I'm trying to write a book on this because what I'm trying to solve here is the people problem. Everyone is talking about machines, robot, AI, but nobody's talking about that poor you and me. What's going to happen to us? How can we change? How can we align? Do you have tools? Are you ready for the future? Avril?
No.
Not yet. He's not ready. Who is ready for the future? Nobody. Hopefully after this presentation you'll be ready. So let's go on. What does the future of work look like? 4 forces of change. There are 4 forces of change, and trust me, the information on this on the net, in the news, is so much, is just gonna make you so confused. And I was confused preparing this presentation. I was just telling Jeff, I've never worked so hard in doing a seminar as I have to work for this one. Why? Because it's a very ambitious project. There's so much of information on what is changing, what the future looks like, that to condense it and make it digestible process for you guys is not easy. So I'm trying really hard. So what is the first force? This is really important. The whole environment you're living in is changing. What is actually changing? My father worked in one company for his whole lifetime. I worked in 5 companies over my lifetime, and potentially my son, Avril, maybe you are that guy as well, because the youngest in the room may be working in 5 companies at the same time. What does that mean? Very simple. How many of you run projects out here? Do you know about the crowdsourcing economy? So you will be running projects for 5 companies at the same time. The young generation, the next generation may not be interested in the same boring employer, same 9 to 5 job, and getting tired, white hair like me. Right? You're looking for more. So that is what is changing. Now, what actually is changing? This is a slide you should remember for the whole of your life. The 4th Industrial Revolution. How many of you heard of this term, the 4th Industrial Revolution? One man. It is a term, 2 people. Thank you. There are 2 people there who know about this term you haven't even heard. This is a phrase which is coined by none other than World Economic Forum. What is different? The first revolution brought about steam. It started manufacturing, production, mass production. Yeah? The second revolution brought about electricity. So there was not much change, it was linear. The amount of production increased, it was automated assembly lines. Remember, Henry Ford invented the automobile assembly lines. And the third one was the internet, where computers were changed, right? Is there anyone in the room who doesn't work on a computer? So did you actually lose your jobs from here to here? You didn't, right? But did your fathers and grandfather work on a computer? No. So there's not much to worry. But if your grandfather needs a job today and he doesn't know the computer, will he get a job, yes or no? No. Similarly, if you're not ready for the future and you don't know how to operate the robots, AI, algorithms which come out, you may have a problem. So what is the 4th revolution? Any guesses, anyone? What is the 4th revolution without looking here? Come on, try. No wrong answers.
The computer can make their own decision.
The computer can make own decision. Example? Anyone?
Like they can they can choose what you want to see.
Yes, YouTube can, but the best example is Uber. Before Uber, algorithms did not make decisions of allocating a taxi to you. Yes? What does it mean? Can you define the 4th revolution? Well, let me quote the World Economic Forum. They say it's the convergence. It's a convergence of 3 things: digital, physical, and biological. When you saw that picture of the cheetah, is it biological? Yes. In the past it was runners, right? Is it physical? Yes. Is it digital? Yes. So think of all the examples I showed you in the age of the machines. All of them have these three attributes: physical, biological, and digital. That never happened during the third revolution. Things are coming. Everyone clear? Crystal clear? Questions? Let's move on. What is the second force of change? Customer behaviors. Your customers are changing. What is changing? In the past, the customers used to go where the banks were. Now the banks go where the customers are, right? In your wallets, in your mobile phone, in the vans. World is changing, and if the bank doesn't go where the customers are, you lose the business. Simple, right? Let's go further. Some statistics over here. You don't have to listen to me. The numbers add up. There's so much of factual evidence over here that there are no opinions needed. A lot of people tell me, I don't need to change. A lot of people tell me it's not going to work in my organization. My point, my response to them is, my friends, change is coming, you like it or not. Either get on the train or get in front of the train. Choice is yours. And if you're the ones who are going to resist the change, you're the one who is jumping in front of the train, the MTR. You don't want to be the guy jumping in front of the train. Get on the train, yeah? And that's my objective today. I want you to get on the train. What's the next change? Workforce. Who can define crowdsourcing for me? What is crowdsourcing? Anyone?
It's basically like you get the things that you need from different sources rather than just from one source.
Beautiful. You get from different sources. Anything else? An example.
Kickstarter.
Yes, Kickstarter. Beautiful example. Give him a round of applause, please. He gave a specific answer. A lot of us think we know, but we don't know. When you give vague answers like digital is changing, life is changing, can you catch that? You got to catch it. You got to get really down, and that is what agile thinking is all about. You get down to the specific, tangible point. Kickstarter. What does Kickstarter do? Crowdfunding. But what does it mean for the workforce? Today, if Amazon has a project, they will throw it out to the open, and 100 people will bid for that project. And then they're going to select the top 3 guys and award the project. Employers don't want to pay for your holidays. They don't want to pay for your smoking time down the corridor. They don't want to pay for non-productive hours. And for the employees, they don't want to work for a bureaucratic organization. They don't want to go and follow up and chase 100 times to get an approval. They want work like that. They want to be outcome focused, bang, bang, bang. Yeah, I'm not talking about the lazy guys, okay? So that is what the new generation wants. That is what is changing. Look at some numbers out here. This is the virtual workforce. Now in Asia, we are slow because Asians' value system still wants security higher than rewards. They want stability more than rewards. But in the whole Western world, the numbers are going really, really fast. My colleagues in the UK, they don't want a permanent job. And some of them are working with my company 5 years. But they keep on renewing the project again and again. And I'm sure you know people like that. Yes, they don't want that job. Let's look at something else. This is a man who quit. And he said a very beautiful thing. Most people doubt if online meetings can work, but they somehow overlook the fact that even in-person meetings don't work either. You got to make it work. Yes, I'm not saying it's better. The point I'm trying to say, the rules of the games are changing. Either embrace it or be embraced. Let's look at some more numbers. The world's largest workforce. This is Crowdflower. There are platforms out there. Tomorrow, if you were to quit, please don't quote me. Tomorrow, if you were to quit and you have a specific skill set, You can go to these platforms like Cloudflower and advertise your skill set. You will get ton of projects. That is what is changing. Clear on the workforce? Second force of change. Yes? The product categories. What is changing out here? A couple of years back, how many financial institutions were there in the top 100? Any guesses? As a percentage, how many financial institutions, okay, forget 100. How many financial institutions were there in the top 10 companies, the most valuable companies in the world? How many?
More than 50%.
More than 50%, thank you. Let's see now. 0. And out of the 10 largest companies in the world, how many are tech companies? 60%. 6 of the largest companies in the world are tech companies. And the other guys which are there, they are able to reinvent themselves. And people who don't, they're going to see their profits dipping. 52% of the Fortune 500 companies have disappeared. The life expectancy of a Fortune 500 was 75 years in 1955. Now it is 15 years. Remember Kodak, remember Xerox. Where did they go? Nokia. Where did they go? Vanished. That brings me to my second section. How do you prepare? Clear with the 4 forces? What does the future workplace looks like? This is what's going to change. The right side is the organizations you work with, hierarchies, competing market share, job-based work, organization-centric, command and control, work-life balance, lifelong career. And the future is bright, nimble organization, creating new markets, project-based work, people-centric, trust-based, networks, life work. Great jobs. Yes? So what can you do? You get new jobs. These are jobs you haven't heard of. Data scientist, memory augmentation therapist. And that's a real advertisement for a job, my friend. Real advertisement. People are already hiring. Yes? So there is no gloom or doom for you. It's just that jobs will disappear, but others will reappear. Question is, are you ready? Very quickly, I'm going to give you 12 agile values. 12 agile values have been inspired from Agile, but this is only for you. Agile is normally known as a software development methodology, but trust me, it is the only hope for all of us. So what is the first value? The first value is personal development we thought used to happen in school. Wrong. Personal development is a continuous process. The second point, security and stability is a thing of the past. Welcome change every day. The third point, doing just one kind of job may limit your options. Acquire diverse experiences. The fourth point, working in just one career may not work for long. Constantly reinvent yourself, Tiffany. Ready for the next reinvention?
Yep.
Thank you. Hierarchies will be rejected by the future. Develop trustworthy relationship. Information can be sent, but messages need to be conveyed. Interact often one-to-one. Perception management will be less important. How many of you do perception-based performance appraisals? All of you. You know what I mean, right? It's going to be outcome-based in the future. Winners will not be running like a rabbit, but they have to move like a turtle. Consistently perform. Less will be more in future. Embrace simplicity. Constant eye for detail and excellence. Keep improving. The 11th one, teams will be more independent and empowered. Be collaborative. Not only for workers, but also for business. The more you collaborate, There's enough for everyone. 7.3 billion people in the world need your help. There's enough. Don't try to keep everything for yourself. You'll get fat and ugly. Share. The more you share, the more you'll get. And you'll become handsome like this guy.
For you.
Because the more you share, the more lively you feel. Otherwise, you'll get only two things. What happens when you eat and you don't take it out? You know what? You know the idea, right? It gets toxic. Don't hoard. Share. And the last one needs to constantly check direction. Reflect every day. It's really, really important you check where you're going. So these are the 12 agile values for individuals like you to get you ready. Now, I wish I can take you through each value in greater detail, but I can't. But they're intuitive. They're simple. It's a map. And here's what the map is all about. These are the 4 forces of change. Let's recap. 4 forces of change. The environment, the customer, the workforce, and the products. Very simple. What are the 12 values? The 12 values which will help you prepare for the change is right here, my friends. The 12 values. And if you embrace these 12 values, I can promise you, nothing can stop you from thriving. Otherwise, you'll end up surviving. So you want to be a survivor or you want to thrive when this wave in this 4th revolution. So finally, that brings me to the final message. My final message for today's session. The future is scary for those who resist the change. The future is scary for those who resist the change, but it's exciting for those who embrace the change. Thank you.